How to navigate Aries season. Hi, everyone, and welcome. Thank you for joining me today. I'm your astrologer, Core, from Core Astrology. This video will share the sun's ingress into the sign of Aries, which occurs on March the 20th at 17 hours and 33 South African Standard Time. The sun's entry into Aries coincides with the sun's crossing the celestial equator, traveling north for the southern hemisphere, indicating the autumn equinox, and vice versa for the northern hemisphere, where the sun travels south, marking the spring equinox. Both the northern and southern hemispheres roughly experience equal amounts of day and nighttime on this day. A ram's head symbolizes Aries. Aries begins the spring season in the northern hemisphere, the origin of Western astrology. Thus, it expresses its cardinal nature of initiating, a strong drive for action, impulsivity, impatience, rapidity, and immediacy. As a fire sign, Aries is like a continuously busy, active fire, either like a volcano or a burning forest fire. Fire signs are externally oriented. They have the energy of life and spirit. They are extroverted, outward going. They get things done quickly. They are energizing, most self-motivated, action-orientated, dynamic, radiant, charismatic, passionate, and full of willpower. They are fired up with burning ambition, live wires who warm up a party. They radiate incredible warmth and vibrancy. They are hot-blooded and restless. Aries are candid with little tolerance for dishonesty. Aries are also enthusiastic, naive, and can be hot-tempered and self-centered. As a fire sign, they enjoy recharging through physical exercise out in the sun. They are adventurous, impulsive, reckless, and excitable. If you are a Sun Aries, you like to initiate, pioneer. You enjoy immediate results. You aim for success, and you have a courageous nature. If it's your moon that is in the sign of Aries, you may come across impulsively and rash. If it's your ascendant, you display an enthusiastic naivety. Mars is the planet that rules Aries, and it is known as the lesser malefic. Mars can express its hot and dry qualities, which are antagonistic to life, producing wild and sterile environments. Mars's symbol looks like a circle from which an arrow emerges. Mars's temperament is choleric. Mars is a masculine planet expressing itself visibly and directly. Mars is powerful, dynamic, assertive, and ambitious, daring, confident, fearless, putting victory above all else when in rulership in the signs of Aries and Scorpio, and while exalted in Capricorn. Action and courage come to the fore during a competition, a challenge, a combat, or a struggle. On the other hand, Mars can be aggressive, bombastic, ruthless, violent, conflicting, even destructive, boastful, immodest, can act like a bully, be argumentative and disrespectful when in its detriments in the sign of Libra and the fall in Cancer. Currently, Mars is in Aquarius and moves into Pisces on April the 14th. Mars is associated with war and heat. It represents military people in general. It also symbolizes careers using heat or sharp objects, such as surgeons, metal workers, blacksmiths, firefighters, hairdressers, bakers, and athletes. Let's take a look to the sky to see what the month of Aries has in store for us. Currently, all planets are direct, allowing for continued forwarding momentum. March the 27th sees Mercury ingress into the sign of Aries. On April the 1st, we have the new moon at 11 degrees 30 minutes of Aries, conjunct Mercury at 9 degrees and Chiron at 12 degrees of Aries, with the wide sextile to the Saturn, Venus, and Mars conjunction in Aquarius. April the 2nd, Mercury is Cazimi, an Arabic term in the heart of the sun. Cazimi strengthens the influence of Mercury while it is within 17 minutes of the heart of the sun. The Cazimi period starts April the 2nd at 6:29 p.m. until April the 3rd at 7:46 a.m. On April the 5th, Venus enters the sign of Pisces, its sign of exaltation. On April the 8th, Jupiter enters the 23rd degree, the same degree as Neptune. The degree perfects around 3:30 p.m. on April the 12th at 23 degrees and 58 minutes. Jupiter and Neptune remain in the same degree until April the 17th, before Jupiter moves off a degree ahead of Neptune. April the 10th, Mercury ingresses into Taurus, and April the 14th, Mars enters Pisces. April the 16th is the full moon at 26 degrees and 45 minutes of Libra. It marks the completion of a cycle starting October the 6th, 2021, which was at 13 degrees of Libra. On April the 19th, the sun then moves into the sign of Taurus. I will discuss in general how best to use these cosmic energies for all 12 signs during the Aries season. Timestamps for these are in the description below. If you are new to astrology and you do not have a chart yet, please go to www.astrodienst.com. That's www.astrodienst.com, and draw up your free chart there. When listening to the forecasts, look to your ascendant sign for the most prominent influence of your interaction with your immediate environment. Look to your sun for an outward yang expression of your radiating light and confidence into the world. Look to your moon sign for your receptive, yin, reflective, internalized, subjective, emotive, reactive expression of self, and all matters relating to home, family matters, mothering, and nurturing. I intend to empower, enlighten, encourage, educate, and inspire my audience on how best to navigate the Aries season. If you are new here and you enjoy the video content, please hit the subscribe button and ring the bell not to miss out on any future videos. I want to thank my subscribers for your support. I recently hit the 3-digit 100 subscriber mark. In celebration and with gratitude, I'm giving my 23-week beginner's astrology course to one person for free. If you are interested in receiving this gift of studying astrology with me, please send your motivation email to core@coreastrology.co.za. First come, first serve basis will decide the lucky recipient. Then I will notify you with a message in the description below regarding a prize winner. So let's move on to the forecast for all 12 signs. So before I go ahead with the 12 sign interpretation of the forecasts, I wanted to remind the viewers that I used Geoffrey Boschart's art of the zodiac signs, which he painted in 1974 and 75, based on his studies of astrology, antiquity, magic, witchcraft, psychology, religion, the Bible, mythology, and occultism. And he described his own works as surrealism. I hope you enjoy them. Aries, welcome and thank you for joining me on this Aries season forecast. Firstly, happy birthday to you all. May you have wonderful celebrations, and I wish you all the best for the year ahead. On the 1st of April at 8:24 a.m., we have a new moon in the sign of Aries at 11.5 degrees. Conjunct this new moon is Mercury at 9 degrees and Chiron at 12 degrees. And this allows for communication regarding healing yourself and your relationship with others. The new moon is a time to slow down, to go inward. Let the angels catch up and land on your shoulder. Listen to your angels and to your soul. It will guide you towards your new intentions for the new lunation cycle. It's a time of rest and reflecting on the last lunation cycles and the lessons learned and the achievements gained. And it's a time to listen to the new inspirations that emerge. Slow down as you consider your new beginning. Tap into your courage, assertion, and the idea of blazing new trails in a pioneering way. Consider initiating, taking action, or being competitive. You will require high energy, vitality, and enthusiasm, and you can tap into your impulsiveness and naivety. This is in regard to your physical health, your persona, your appearance and your outward nature as you present yourself into the world. This is about your health. Please be mindful on the lower octave. The Aries sign can be selfish, self-centered, angry, hot-tempered, and aggressive towards others. There is a sextile to Venus, Saturn, and Mars on this new moon. This is a stabilizing, repairing, maintaining, anchoring, authoritative, and disciplined association to groups of friends that you have or groups of society that you interact with. It also relates very much to your ideals and hopes and dreams and the rewards that you receive for the hard work that you give out into the world. Now, on the 2nd of April, at 6:29 p.m. all the way through to the 3rd of April at 7:46 a.m., Mercury is cazimi at 13 degrees in the heart of the sun. And this highlights a fantastic time to communicate matters relating to the subject of your courage, of where you require to be assertive and where it is that you are pioneering in terms of your health and your physical body. Now, between the 1st of April and around about the 3rd of April is a good time to be reflecting and connecting with your inspirations, and then to start taking action after about the 3rd of April as the moon increases in light. Around the 5th of April, Venus goes into Pisces, as does on the 14th of April, Mars enter Pisces. Between the 8th and the 17th of April, we have Jupiter and Neptune conjunct in the sky at the degrees of 23 and 24, and they perfect this degree on the 12th of April at the degree of 23 of Pisces. And this is something that we've been feeling coming our way for months. For Aries, this very much relates to a sense of a cycle having come to an end. The sense of loss that something is coming to an end as you've known it, the sense that you may feel a little bit isolated and alone, but also the sense that you feel like you need some time alone to recharge your batteries. But perhaps also the time alone is to connect to the divine, to the source, to the God that you connect with, to your imagination, and also to your own subconsciousness. It's a very spiritual time for you. Now, both the benefic Venus in exaltation in Pisces and Jupiter in rulership are in this area of your life. And they bring with them a sense of altruism, a sense of forgiving, of empathy and compassion, of mystical ways, of dreaminess, of gentle spiritual healing, and forms and expressions of love that are gentle. Neptune prompts imagination, dreams, boundarylessness, connection to all that is, as a sense of dissolving with and into one's environment and situation. There's a sense of connecting to divinity, to evolution, to one's soul, to your ideals and visions, and the sense of connecting to the cosmic pulse and clock of the universe. You may feel a sense of confusion or delusion, perhaps a sense of nebulousness or even deception. Jupiter in this area of your chart brings in a sense of nobility and gainfulness. There's also expansion and the sense of spiritual opportunities, of receiving wisdom from guides and from the spirit world, from counselors and wise persons such as philosophers, professors, shamans, and gurus, including the wisdom offered to us by the unseen angels and beings. So there's a sense that from behind the scenes, there's this immense connection to the universe and to the creator, and allows you to be of service, but out of the limelight. On the 16th of April, the full moon occurs in Libra at 26 degrees 45 at 20:54 p.m. And for you, Arians, this relates to the relationships that you're involved with. These are marriage partners, business partners, and best friends. And there's a sense of seeking to unite and find balance with your partners, a sense of wanting to be more romantic, more gentle, and more sociable with your partners. There is a square to Pluto, 28 degrees of Capricorn. And for you, dear Aries, this relates to your career, your profession, and your status out in the world, your reputation, and the actions that you radiate out into the world as a form of transformation and regeneration. There's a sense that you're rising like a phoenix again from the ashes, or that you've shed a skin like a snake would, that it has outgrown. It would seem that there is this sense of transformation that you're experiencing in your work and career environment. There's also a trine towards Saturn in Aquarius on this full moon day. And for you, this stabilizes and confirms the restructuring of the authoritative ideals that you are experiencing in terms of working with communities, society at large, or groups of people or friends. Dear Aries, thank you for joining me. I wish you a beautiful Aries season. Take care. Bye. Hey, Taurians, thank you for joining me on this Aries season forecast. On the 1st of April at 8:24 a.m., we have a new moon in Aries at 11.5 degrees. Mercury is at 9 degrees and Chiron at 12 degrees. In other words, conjunct with this new moon. And for you, dear Taurians, this very much relates to communicating and helping others and yourself through working from behind the scenes. There's a sense that you're connecting to the divine and imagination, or maybe even there's a sense of a cycle coming to an end, and a sense of loss and self-renouncing the world so that you can connect with your subconscious and the spiritual, and possibly even travel overseas or get away from the everyday exposure to the public as you've known it. On a new moon, we slow down, we go inward. It's a time to let the angels catch up with you and rest on your shoulders. Listen to your angels and to your soul. It will guide you towards your new intentions for the new lunation cycle. It's a time of rest and reflecting on the past lunation cycle, and it's about listening to the new inspirations that emerge. There is a new beginning where you are required to tap into your courage, assertion, and open up to blazing new trails in a pioneering way that considers initiating, taking action, and being competitive. It's about having high energy and vitality and an enthusiasm, as well as tapping into your impulsiveness and naivety around being somebody who assists from behind the scenes, and about realizing how cycles are coming to an end, and where there's a sense of loss, and also this need to connect to your subconscious and your imagination. On the lower octave, be mindful not to be selfish, self-centered, angry, hot-tempered, or aggressive towards others. A sextile to Venus, Saturn, and Mars in Aquarius confirms the structural stabilization and the repair and maintenance and the anchoring of your authoritativeness in terms of your ideals and humanitarian principles in regards to your career and the work that you profess to do out in the world. It is towards your status and your reputation and your career that there's a sense of stabilization. On the 2nd of April at 6:29 p.m. through to the 3rd of April at 7:46 a.m., we have Mercury cazimi the Sun at 13 degrees. Now, this is an excellent time for you to communicate and relate these subject matters that require courage and assertion and the sense of pioneering in regards to what it is relating to the cycle that is coming to an end, or you working from behind the scenes and connecting to your subconscious and moving out of the limelight into a place where you feel there may be more isolation and more time for yourself so that you can recharge your batteries and connect to the divine. On the 5th of April, Venus enters Pisces. On the 14th of April, Mars enters Pisces. On the 8th to the 17th of April, Jupiter and Neptune conjunct in the degrees 23 and 24 of Pisces, and they culminate on the 12th of April at 23 degrees. This is a conjunction that has finally come to a head, and we would have felt this 6 months ago, even 3 months ago, even a month ago. And for you Taurians, this is in relation to your hopes and dreams, to good luck and to fortune, and to receiving love from others. It relates to the income that you earn through, or the rewards that you receive for all the hard work that you've put out there. And it certainly relates to society at large and groups of friends and groups within society that you relate to. Now, with both Venus and Jupiter in this area, the benefic planets, Venus exalted and Jupiter in rulership, bring into the situation for you groups of people and friends and hopes and ideals that are filled with altruism, that are very forgiving, empathetic, compassionate, mystical, dreamy, gentle. There's a sense of your friends or groups of people are spiritually healing you, and that this is a form of love that you express. Neptune prompts imaginations, visions, a sense of boundarylessness and connecting to all that is, as a sense of dissolving with and into the environment and the situation that you're in terms of a community that you work with, or a sense of a society and friends that you're relating to, or dreams and ideals that you're relating to. There's a sense of connecting to divinity, your own evolution, your soul, and your ideals and visions at this time. It's a bit like living life through a pink-colored pair of glasses. Jupiter in this area combines to this nobility, gainfulness, expansion, spiritual opportunities, wisdom from guides, counselors, wise persons such as philosophers, professors, wealthy persons, shamans, gurus, including the wisdom offered to us by the unseen angels and beings. There is a warning that you may feel confused or deluded, or a sense of nebulousness or deception at this time. And certainly you would want to stay away from groups of people who have addiction problems to alcohol or drugs or any form of other addiction that may instigate such beautiful energies artificially, because at the moment they are attainable in the natural energy that the universe is providing. On the 16th of April, the full moon in Libra occurs at 20:54 p.m. at the degree of 26:45 of Libra. So have a look in your chart where that is. For you Taurians, this is falling in an area of your chart that relates to how you are of service to others. It also relates to any diseases that you may have, as well as matters related to your pets. And here you are seeking to unite and find balance in these situations. You would like to infuse a little bit of romanticism, gentleness, and sociability into this area of your life. There is a square to Pluto on this full moon. And for you, dear Taurians, this relates to a transformation and regeneration, much like the phoenix arising from the ashes as it re-emerges, or the sense of a snake peeling off a skin that's too tight because it's outgrown this too tight skin. And it relates to matters of travel to overseas, to foreign countries, to philosophies, to religions, to wise people, tertiary education, universities, publishing, and the law. We also have a trine to Saturn in Aquarius on this full moon on the 16th of April. And for you, dear Taurians, this is about structuring and confirming and stabilizing, maintaining your ideals regarding your authoritativeness in your career and your status out in the world, and the actions that you profess to do out into the world regarding your reputation. Thank you, dear Taurians, for joining me. I wish you a beautiful Aries season. Hi there, Geminis. Thank you for joining me on the Aries season forecast. On the 1st of April at 8:24 a.m., we have a new moon in Aries at 11.5 degrees. We have Mercury at 9 degrees and Chiron at 12 degrees conjunct the new moon. And this indicates a sense of being able to communicate and heal yourself, as well as all of your friends and groups of people that you know in society. And it relates to healing that is around matters that concern your ideals and your income, your love received from others, and the rewards that you receive from others for all of your hard work. We also have a sextile to Venus, Mars, and Saturn in the sign of Aquarius. And for you, dear Geminis, this is an energy that helps to stabilize and repair, a sense of anchoring and maintaining the structures regarding your authoritativeness when it comes to ideals around belief systems and philosophies, religions, tertiary education, international travel, law and publishing, also advertising. On the new moon, we tend to slow down so that our angels can catch up and land on our shoulders. We tend to go inward and then listen to the angels as well as to our soul, as it will guide us towards our new intentions for the new lunation cycle. This is a time to rest, reflect on the last lunation cycle, and to listen to new inspirations that emerge during the new moon. The new beginnings for you regarding tapping into your courage and assertion and blazing new trails in pioneering ways, where you need to consider initiating and taking action and being competitive, where high energy and vitality and enthusiasm, as well as impulsiveness and naivety, are welcomed, relate very much to your friends, to your groups of friends, to groups in society that you relate to society on the whole, your networking, as well as the love that you receive from groups of people, as well as any income that you earn for the work, the rewards that you receive from others. It's important to be mindful, not to be selfish, self-centered. These are the lower octave of the Aries. Angry, hot-tempered, and aggressive towards society or groups of friends. On the 2nd of April at 6:29 p.m. until the 3rd of April at 7:46 a.m., we have Mercury cazimi at 13 degrees in the heart of the sun. And this highlights an excellent opportunity for you to discuss or share with the groups or your network or your friends, your assertion and your courage and the pioneering projects that you are currently busy with. On the 5th of April, Venus goes into Pisces, and on the 14th of April, Mars joins the sign of Pisces. We also have from the 8th to the 17th of April, Jupiter and Neptune conjunct the degrees 23 and 24 of Pisces. Jupiter and Neptune perfected their conjunction on the 12th of April. And in doing so, bring to you, dear Geminis, this sense of the benefics, both Venus and Jupiter in exaltation and in rulership. Bring to your career and to your status and your reputation out into the world, and to your profession a sense of altruism, forgiveness, empathy, compassion, mysticism, dreaminess, a gentle spiritual healing nature as a form of love expressed. Neptune brings to you, dear Geminis, imagination. It prompts visions. It allows for boundarylessness, connecting you to all that is in your environment, as though you dissolve into the current situation. There's a sense of connecting to divinity, to evolution, to your own soul, to your ideals, and to the cosmic pulse. And Jupiter combines to this nobility, gainfulness, expansion, spiritual opportunities, wisdom from guides, counselors, wise persons such as philosophers, successful business people, professors, shamans, and gurus, including the wisdom offered to us by the unseen angels and beings. So on the lower octave, confusion, delusion, nebulousness, and deception may be experienced in regards to your status in the world and your reputation and the work that you profess to do. On the 16th of April, the full moon occurs in Libra at 26 degrees 45. This occurs at 20 hours and 54 p.m. And for you, Geminis, this is occurring in an area of your life that relates to your inner joy and to bliss, to having fun, to your sexuality, to new projects, to matters related to children and holidays, entertainment, and relaxation and fun. And you would like to, Geminis, infuse a little bit of balance into this area of your life. You'd like to have a little bit more romance and experience, a little bit more gentleness and sociability. There's a square to Pluto at 28 degrees on this full moon. And for you, Geminis, this relates to the irrevocable changes that you are experiencing in regards to how you receive resources, financial, spiritual, emotional, from others. This could range from bonds to taxes, to inheritances, to partners, money. And there's a sense of transformation and regeneration, as though you are emerging like a phoenix that has arisen from the ashes. Also, there's a trine to Saturn in Aquarius on this full moon that for you is anchoring and stabilizing this new sense of belief system and matters related to foreigners and overseas and higher tertiary education, teaching, philosophies and religion. There's a sense of becoming more authoritative and structured and disciplined around these practices. Thank you, dear Gemini, for joining me. I wish you a beautiful Aries season. Bye for now. Hey, dear Cancerians, thank you for joining me on this Aries forecast. On the 1st of April, we have a new moon at 8:24 a.m. and the new moon is at 11.5 degrees of Aries, while Mercury is at 9 degrees and Chiron is at 12 degrees conjunct the new moon. This allows for communications regarding healing self and others, specifically for you in your career, in that which you profess, your profession out into the world, your actions out into the world, your status and that which you reckon to be your highest form of success and your reputation. And there's also a sextile to Venus, Saturn, Mars in Aquarius. And for you, Cancerians, this is a sense of maintaining and stabilizing the discipline and the structure around the authoritativeness regarding the irrevocable changes that you are going through in terms of receiving resources from others, financial, physical, emotional, and spiritual. This could involve inheritances or bonds or taxes, and it very much relates to how you feel you are a resource to other people. Now, on the new moon, we suggest to slow down. Let the angels catch up with you and land on your shoulders and then go inwards. Listen to your angels and to your soul. It will guide you towards your new intentions for the new lunation cycle. It's a time of rest and reflection on the last lunation cycle. And it's also time to listen to the new inspirations which emerge. There are new beginnings, and it is necessary for you to tap into your courage, assertion, and the blazing new trails in a pioneering way. It is important for you to consider initiating and taking action or being competitive. There is a need for high energy, vitality, and enthusiasm, also impulsiveness and naivety regarding your career, your reputation, your work out into the world, and your sense of highest success. It is important to be aware of the lower octave of these energies. Please be mindful not to be selfish, self-centered, angry, hot-tempered, and aggressive towards any of your co-workers in your work environment, in your company or place of work. If you're not working, then it would be in regards to your status and reputation out into the world. On the 2nd of April at 6:29 p.m. through to the next morning of the 3rd of April at 7:46 a.m. is an excellent time to communicate anything relating to the subject matters of your work and career and your profession and your actions out into the world that require courage and assertion, and where you feel like you will be pioneering into a new pathway. On the 5th of April, Venus goes into Pisces. On the 14th of April, Mars enters Pisces. And from the 8th to the 17th of April, we have Jupiter and Neptune conjunct in Pisces at 23 and 24 degrees. Jupiter and Neptune perfect their conjunction on the 12th of April. And for you, dear Cancerians, this is occurring in an area of your life that rules foreigners, overseas travel, religions, philosophies, wise people, publishing, advertising, law. Had I mentioned belief systems or any tertiary education? And the energies of Venus in exaltation and a benefic, and Jupiter, another benefic in rulership, add to these subjects altruism, a sense of forgiving, empathy, compassion, mysticism, dreaminess, gentle spiritual healing as a form of love expressed. Neptune in particular prompts imagination, a sense of boundarylessness, a connecting to all that is as a dissolving with and into one's environment and situation. There's a sense of connecting to divinity, to your own evolution, to your own soul, to a higher source, to your ideals. It is a little like a spiritual overhaul, an upgrade. A small warning, the lower octave of these energies can indicate confusion, delusion, nebulousness, and deception. With Jupiter in this area, it combines to all of this nobility, gainfulness, expansion, big business, spiritual opportunities, wisdom from guides, counselors, wise persons such as philosophers, professors, shamans, and gurus, including the wisdom offered to you by the unseen angels and beings. On the 16th of April, we have the full moon in Libra at 20:54 p.m. at 26:45 degrees of Libra. And for you, dear Cancers, this is occurring in an area that relates to home, family, your place of living, your location, the land that you live in, your unconscious, any connections to ancestry and genetics, and specifically your father and the father line. And you would like to, dear Cancerians, bring in a little bit more balance and a sense of uniting the family into this area. You would like to infiltrate a little bit of romance and more sociability and gentleness into your home environment. A square to Pluto at 28 degrees of Capricorn for you, dear Cancerians, relates to a sense of transformation and regeneration, like a phoenix arising from the ashes in regards to your relationships to either marriage partners, business partners, live-in lovers, or best friends. There's also trine to Saturn in Aquarius, which occurs for you in an area of your life that relates to unconditional and irrevocable changes in regards to how you are resourced to others and how they are resourced to you. And there's a sense that you're stabilizing and disciplining matters in a very structured and authoritative and ideal way regarding these matters. Thank you for joining me, dear Cancers. Enjoy your Aries season. Bye for now. Hey, dear Leos, thank you for joining me on this Aries forecast. On the 1st of April, we have at 8:24 a.m. a new moon at 11.5 degrees of Aries. Mercury is at 9 degrees of Aries and Chiron at 12 degrees of Aries conjunct, creating an ideal situation for healing yourself and others through communications, especially communications regarding your spirituality, your belief systems, philosophies, religion, matters connected to foreigners and overseas travel, maybe to law cases, possibly even to advertising and publishing, and primarily the belief systems that you have. Now, there is a sextile to Venus, Saturn, and Mars in the sign of Aquarius. And this allows for a sense of anchoring and structuring and maintaining a disciplined outlook, an authoritative outlook towards partnerships. This could be marriage partners, live-in lovers, best friends, or business partners. Now, on a new moon, it's good to slow down. Let the angels catch up and land on your shoulders, and then go inward. Listen to the angels, listen to your soul. It will guide you towards your new intentions for the new lunation cycle. It's a time of rest and reflecting on the last lunation cycle. And it's about listening to the new inspirations that emerge. There are new beginnings, and there's a sense of you needing to tap into your courage, assertion, and blazing into new trails in a pioneering way, considering initiating, taking action, or being competitive, imploring high energy and vitality, enthusiasm, impulsiveness, and naivety around your belief systems, your philosophies, religions, your higher studies, tertiary education, foreign travel, matters regarding law, advertising, or publishing. There is a lower octave to the situation, and that is, please be mindful of selfishness, of self-centeredness, anger, hot temper, and aggression towards foreigners or persons of faith that you may be interacting with. These could be any counselors or philosophers or professors, any wise persons, gurus. On the 2nd of April at 6:29 p.m. up until the 3rd of April at 7:46 a.m., Mercury is Cazimi at 13 degrees of Aries. So check out in your chart where that it falls for you. And this highlights great communications relating to these subjects of courage and assertion and pioneering new ways in your belief systems. On the 5th of April, Venus enters Pisces. On the 14th of April, Mars enters Pisces. On the 8th to the 17th of April, we have Jupiter and Neptune conjunct at 23 degrees and 24 degrees of Pisces. They perfect at 23 degrees on the 12th of April. And for you, dear Leos, this is in an area of your chart that relates to you being a resource to others, to receiving resources from others, financial, emotional, spiritual, physical. This could also include in receiving inheritances or money back from your taxes, or if you're applying for a bond, you'll most likely be receiving this. Remember, this is a general forecast, because in this area for Leos, with Venus being a benefic and Jupiter being a benefic, there is an infusion of altruism and a sense of forgiving and empathy, compassion, mysticism, dreaminess, gentleness, and spiritual healing through forms of love expressed in such ways. Neptune prompts imagination and dreams and a sense of boundarylessness, where you can connect to all that is in a way that dissolves you with and into your environment and situation. There's a sense of connecting to the divine, a sense of connecting to evolution and your own soul, your ideals and your visions. Much change is occurring for you for the better. Jupiter combines to this nobility, gainfulness, expansion, spiritual opportunities, wisdom from guides, counselors, wise persons such as philosophers, professors, shamans, and gurus, including the wisdom offered to us by the unseen angels and beings. There is a lower octave warning that you may feel confused or deluded, that you may experience nebulousness and deception, because there is a sense of seeing things through tinted glasses. On the 16th of April, there's a full moon in Libra at 26:45 degrees, and this occurs at 20 hours and 54 minutes p.m. For you, Leos, this is occurring in an environment that relates to your neighbors, your siblings, your co-workers, communication, small business, writing, reading, letters, thinking. And here you'd like to infuse the sense of uniting and finding balance in relationship with others. There's a sense of wanting to bring romance into this, and a sense of being a little bit more sociable and gentle with yourself, with your neighbors, your siblings, and your co-workers. It may also relate to short-term travel and local commuting. A square to Pluto at 28 degrees brings for you, dear Leos, a sense of transformation and regeneration, much like the phoenix arising from the ashes as she reemerges in regards to how you are of service to the world. It may also relate to any diseases that you have and also to any pets that you have. A square to Saturn highlights further the stabilization of the authoritative relationship that you're in terms of personal marriage, best friend, live-in lover, or business partnership. There's a sense of humanitarian principles and ideals which are anchoring and stabilizing. Thank you, dear Leo, for joining me. I wish you a beautiful Aries season. Bye for now. Dear Virgos, thank you for joining me on this Aries forecast. On the 1st of April at 8:24 a.m., we have a new moon at 11.5 degrees, and Mercury is conjunct at 9 degrees, and so is Chiron conjunct at 12 degrees. And this bodes for good communications around healing of self and others, specifically in relationship to how you perceive yourself to be a resource for others and how others are a resource for you spiritually, physically, emotionally, financially, as well as the sense of irrevocable change occurring in your life. There is also a sextile to Venus, Saturn, and Mars in Aquarius. And this brings for you a sense of anchoring and structuring, and a sense of discipline and authoritativeness and stabilization regarding your ideals of how you are of service to others. This could also relate to any pets that you have at home or any diseases that you may have. Now, on the new moon, it's good to slow down. Let the angels catch up with you a little. Go inward and then listen to your angels and to your soul as they guide you towards your new intentions for the new lunation cycle. It's a time of rest and reflection on the last lunation cycle, and it's a time to listen to the new inspirations. Slow down and realize that there are new beginnings, that you can tap into courage, assertion, and blazing new trails in a pioneering way, that you can consider initiating and taking action or being competitive, requiring high energy, vitality, and enthusiasm, and impulsiveness and naivety after the new moon, I'd say around the 3rd or 4th of April, as you implore these circumstances to the changes within your life regarding how you're a resource to others and they to you. And this can involve inheritances, this can involve taxes or receiving a bond, a mortgage, a loan, but also it could be the intimacy and stepping past fears that you have that block you from getting close to others. The lower octave of this is that you need to be mindful not to be selfish, self-centered, angry, hot-tempered, or aggressive towards those that supply resources to you, towards those that you work with in matters related to tax or your bond or a sense of dependency on others for something. On the 2nd of April, at 6:29 p.m. through to the 3rd of April at 7:46 a.m., at 13 degrees of Aries, Mercury is cazimi with the sun, and this highlights a perfect opportunity to communicate with courage and assertion and the sense of pioneering forward in this change that you're undergoing, in this transformation that you going through in terms of irrevocable changes you are experiencing around how you are a resource to others and they to you. On the 5th of April, Venus goes into Pisces. On the 14th of April, Mars enters Pisces. From the 8th to the 17th of April, we have Jupiter and Neptune conjunct at the degree 23 and 24 in Pisces. They're perfect at 23 degrees on the 12th of April. And for you, dear Virgos, this is occurring in an area of your life that relates to marriage partners, business partners, live-in lovers, and best friends. And the infusion of Venus in exaltation and Jupiter in rulership adds altruism, a sense of forgiveness, empathy, compassion, mysticism, dreaminess, gentle spiritual healing, and forms of love expressed from partners. They prompt imagination and a sense of boundarylessness. There's a sense of connecting to all that is, and a sense of dissolving with and into one's environment and situation with another person. There's a sense of connecting to divinity, evolution, your own soul, your own ideals, and visions around the cosmic pulse and clock of the universe. There is a small warning to say that the lower octave can make you feel confused or deluded or nebulous or deceived in terms of relationships. Jupiter combines to the situation partners that are noble, gainful, expansive, that create spiritual opportunities and that allow for wisdom from guides, such as counselors or wise persons, such as philosophers, professors, shamans, or gurus, including wisdom offered to you by the unseen angels and beings. On the 16th of April, there's a full moon at 26 degrees 45 of Libra occurring at 20:54 p.m. And this is falling in an area of your life that relates to your self-esteem, your value system, your finances, your possessions. And you would like to bring in a little bit more balance into this area of your life, a little bit more gentleness and sociability about how you interact, even romantically, regarding your value system. There's a square to Pluto at 28 degrees, and this is reminding you that there's a sense of transformation and regeneration, much like in the emergence of the phoenix that arises again from the ashes in regarding matters related to children, to having fun, to sexuality, to expressing yourself, to going on holidays. It's about finding your joy and bliss. It's about having fun in regards to entertainment and possibly going on holiday or even starting a new creative project. The trine to Saturn anchors in this disciplined, structured, maintaining and stabilizing energy regarding how you are of service to the world, matters related to your pets, and also any diseases you may have. This is all occurring on the 16th of April on the full moon. Thank you for joining me. I wish you a beautiful Aries season. Bye for now. Hey Librans, thank you for joining me on the Libra forecast. On the 1st of April at 8:24 a.m., the new moon occurs at 11.5 degrees of Aries. Conjunct to this at 9 degrees of Aries is Mercury and also Mars at 12 degrees. This is a situation that allows for good communications regarding healing self and the relationships that you are in. There's a sextile also to Venus, Saturn, and Mars in Aquarius, and this relates to stabilizing and maintaining the discipline and the structure and the authoritativeness in matters related to your children, creative projects, your sexuality, how you give love from yourself, how you express yourself, your inner joy and bliss, matters related to travel and having fun and entertainment and creative new projects. The new moon is a time to slow down, let the angels catch up with you, go inward, Listen to your angels, listen to your soul. It will guide you towards your new intentions for the new lunation cycle. It's a time of rest and reflecting on the last lunation cycle, and it's about listening to the new inspirations that emerge. There are new beginnings that tap into courage, assertion, blazing new trails in a pioneering way, whereby you need to consider initiating and taking action or being competitive in terms of bringing out your high energy and vitality and enthusiasm, impulsiveness and naivety in regards to business partners, marriage partners, best friends, and live-in lovers. The lower octave of this expression is be mindful of selfishness, self-centeredness, anger, hot temper, and aggression towards business partners, marriage partners, live-in lovers, or best friends. On the 2nd of April at 6:29 p.m. to the 3rd of April at 7:46 a.m., when Mercury is Cazimi at 13 degrees of Aries, highlights an excellent opportunity to discuss the subject matters regarding the courage and the assertion and the pioneering that you are experiencing in regards to business partners, live-in lovers, best friends, and marriage partners. On the 5th of April, Venus enters Pisces. On the 14th of April, Mars enters Pisces. And from the 8th to the 17th of April, Jupiter and Neptune are conjunct at 23 and 24 degrees. They perfect the 23rd degree on the 12th of April. Now, for you, dear Librans, this falls in an area of your life that relates to how you are of service to the world, matters related, any diseases that you have, and any pets that you may have. With the benefics, Venus in exaltation and Jupiter in rulership, altruism, forgiveness, empathy, compassion, mysticism, dreaminess, gentle spiritual healing as forms of love expressed, prompt imagination, dreams, boundarylessness, connection to all that is in a dissolving way with your environment and your situation. There's a sense of connecting to divinity and your own evolution, your own soul, and your own ideals and visions. The lower octave warning for this energy is that you may feel confused, deluded, nebulousness, or deception in this area of your life. Jupiter adds to this nobility, gainfulness, expansion, spiritual opportunities, wisdom from guides, counselors, wise persons such as philosophers, professors, shamans, gurus, including the wisdom offered to us by the unseen angels and beings. On the 16th of April, the full moon falls into your sign, Librans, at 26 degrees 45 in the evening at 2000 hours and 54 p.m. And this is where you feel like you want to unite and find and seek more balance in your life. You would like to have more romance and gentleness and sociability in regards to your physical health and well-being and your persona. There's a square to Pluto on this full moon on the 16th of April, and it relates to the transformation and regeneration, pretty much like the emergence of the phoenix arising from the ashes in matters related to home, family, father, genetics, ancestry, your roots, your place of living, the land that you live in. And there's also the trine to Saturn on this full moon, which stabilizes, maintains the structures that you put in place regarding children, having fun, expressing love, being romantic, new projects, playfulness, and your inner joy and bliss. Dear Libras, thank you for joining me. I wish you a beautiful Aries season. Hey, dear Scorpios, thank you for joining me on this Aries season forecast. On the 1st of April at 8:24 a.m., we have a new moon at 11.5 degrees, and it's conjunct Mercury at 9 degrees and Chiron at 12 degrees. And this anchors in and allows for healing communications between you and others, especially in regards to how you are of service to the world and what your day-to-day routine looks like, as well as matters related to any diseases that you have and any pets that you own. There's a sextile to Venus and Saturn and Mars at the time of the new moon. And for you, this is a stabilizing, disciplined, structured, authoritative energy around your ideals regarding your home and living circumstances, the location that you live in, your land, your property, your roots, your ancestry, your family life, your father's lineage, your father. Now, the new moon is a good time to slow down. Allow the angels to catch up and land on your shoulders. Go inwards. Listen to your angels. Listen to your soul. It will guide you towards your new intentions for the new lunation cycle. It's a time of rest and reflecting on the last lunation cycle. And listen to the new inspirations that emerge during the new moon. There are new beginnings that require you to tap into your courage, assertion, that are blazing new trails in a pioneering way. Consider initiating, taking action, and being competitive. You will require high energy, vitality, and enthusiasm. A sense of impulsiveness and naivety may be tapped into as well regarding your service to humanity, your pets, and matters related to any diseases. The lower octave is pleased to be mindful of being selfish, self-centered, angry, hot-tempered, and aggressive towards others that you work with in a day-to-day routine, or the people that you give service to, or possibly even matters related to your pets or your health in terms of any diseases, acute illnesses that you may have. On the 2nd of April, at 6:29 p.m. until the 3rd of April at 7:46 a.m., you have an exceptional time to communicate all matters relating to the courage and the assertion and the pioneering ways that you are experiencing at the moment, because Mercury is Cazimi, the sun, at 13 degrees during this time. On the 5th of April, Venus goes into Pisces. On the 14th of April, Mars enters Pisces. And from the 8th to the 17th of April, we have Jupiter and Neptune conjunct at 23 and 24 degrees. It's on the 12th of April that they perfect at 23 degrees. And for you, dear Scorpios, this is occurring in an area of your life that relates to children, romance, giving love of yourself, sexuality, expressing yourself, having fun, creating new projects, going on holiday, finding your joy and bliss, doing sports if you find this to be fun, enjoying entertainment. And with Venus and Jupiter in this area of your life, as well as, of course, Mars, there is an infusion of altruism, a sense of forgiving, empathy, compassion, mysticism, dreaminess, and a gentle spiritual healing as a form of love expressed. There is a prompting for imagination, boundarylessness, connecting to all that is, as though you're dissolving with and into your environment and the situation. There's a sense of connecting to your divinity, your evolution, your own soul, your ideals and your visions. There is a warning: the lower octave could make you feel confused, deluded, nebulous, or deceived in regards to these situations. Jupiter combines to this nobility, gainfulness, expansion, spiritual opportunities, wisdom from guides, counselors, wise persons such as philosophers, professors, shamans, and gurus, including the wisdom offered to you by the unseen angels and beings. On the 16th of April, the full moon in Libra, 26 degrees 45, occurs at 20 hours and 54 minutes. This is occurring for you, dear Scorpios, in an area of your life that relates to cycles ending, to a sense of loss, to a sense of isolation and wanting to be on your own so that you can self-renounce from the worldly busyness and be somebody who works from behind the scenes, somebody who likes to connect to your subconscious and recharge your batteries with a little bit of alone time where you can connect to imagination and inspiration and spirit. There's a square to Pluto, which for you, dear Scorpios, relates to the transformation and regeneration, very much like the emergence of the phoenix arising from the ashes in regards to paperwork, communication, short-term commuting, co-workers, paperwork, writing, thinking, talking, SMSs, WhatsApps, etc. The trine to Saturn occurs also on this full moon, and this again embeds and anchors the stability and the discipline around the structures and the authoritativeness regarding home, family, father, ancestry, roots, and your own unconscious. Dear Scorpio, thank you for joining me. I wish you a beautiful Aries season. Bye for now. Hey, dear Sagittarians, thank you for joining me on this Aries forecast. On the 1st of April at 8:24 a.m., we have a new moon in 11.5 degrees of Aries. This is conjunct Mercury at 9 degrees and Chiron at 12 degrees. And this allows for fabulous communications around healing self and others in regards to how you express yourself in the world, how you find your joy and bliss. This could be matters related to children or creative projects, holidays, leisure, fun, sexuality, and even sports if you find this enjoyable. A sextile to Venus, Saturn, and Mars stabilizes and structures the authoritative, disciplined ideal regarding your short-term commuting, matters related to siblings and neighbors, and any form of paperwork, communications, teaching, talking, or writing. At the new moon, it's a good time to slow down. Let the angels catch up with you and land on your shoulder. Go inwards. Listen to your angels and your soul as they will guide you towards your new intentions for the new lunation cycle. It's a time of rest, reflecting on the last lunation cycle, and it's about listening to the new inspirations that emerge. There are new beginnings that require you to tap into courage, assertion, where you are blazing new trails of a pioneering way, where you need to consider initiating and taking action or being competitive. There's a sense of high energy required, vitality and enthusiasm is required. Tap into your impulsiveness and naivety regarding this area of your life of having fun, finding your joy and bliss, working with children, new creative projects, your sexuality, giving love of yourself, doing sports if you enjoy them, enjoying entertainment. It's the fun house that these energies are in. On the lower octave, be mindful not to be selfish, self-centered, angry, hot-tempered, or aggressive towards others, specifically children or anybody that you are meant to be having fun with. On the 2nd of April at 6:29 p.m. through to the 3rd of April at 7:46 a.m. is a perfect time to communicate and assert these courageous, new pioneering ways I've discussed, because Mercury is Cazimi at 13 degrees in the heart of the sun, which bodes well for communications. On the 5th of April, Venus enters Pisces. On the 14th of April, Mars enters Pisces. From the 8th to the 17th of April, Jupiter and Neptune are conjunct at 23 and 24 degrees. They perfect their conjunction on the 12th of April at 23 degrees. And for you, dear Sagittarians, this very much relates to an area of your life that refers to your place of living, your home, your location of living, the land that you're living on, matters related to father, ancestry, roots and genetics, specifically the father lineage. And here, as the benefics Venus and Jupiter are sending blessings your way, is a sense of altruism, a sense of forgiveness, empathy, compassion, mysticism, dreaminess, gentle spiritual healing, and love expressed which prompts imagination and a sense of boundarylessness, a sense of connecting to all that is, as a sense of dissolving in with one's environment and situation, a sense of connecting to divinity and evolution, your own soul, your ideals, and your visions are coming to be. Jupiter combines to this nobility, gainfulness, expansion, travel, spiritual opportunities, wealth, wisdom from guides, counselors, wise persons such as philosophers, professors, shamans, and gurus, including the wisdom offered to you by unseen angels and beings. On the 16th of April, there's the full moon in Libra, 26 degrees 45. This occurs at 2000 hours 54 in the evening. And for you, Sagittarians, this is occurring in an area of life that relates to friendships and groups of people and networking to society at large. This is about connecting to your hopes and your dreams and receiving the rewards and income for your hard work. And here you would like to unite and find a balance with friends and groups of people. You would like to have more romanticism in your life and a sense of gentleness and sociability. It is the transformation and regeneration that there is a sense of emergence like the phoenix arising from the ashes regarding to your self-esteem, your finances, your self-confidence, all the things that you possess and own. And there is a reminder again on this full moon that you are stabilizing and maintaining matters related to your immediate environment, your neighbors, your siblings, how you teach, talk, communicate, your short distance commuting, writing, reading, and thinking. Dear Sagittarians, thank you for joining me on this forecast. I wish you a beautiful month ahead. Take care. Bye. Thank you for joining me on this Aries forecast. On the 1st of April at 8:24 a.m., we have the new moon in Aries at 11.5 degrees. Mercury is at 9 degrees and Chiron at 12 degrees conjunct the new moon. And this bodes well for communication regarding healing yourself and others around family and home issues, your place of living, your abode, the land you live in, matters related to your unconscious and the father lineage, the ancestry, your roots and your genetics. There is a sextile to Venus, Saturn, and Mars in Aquarius, and this reminds you of the stability and the anchoring and maintaining and the discipline around being structured and authoritative regarding your self-esteem, your finances, your possessions, your sense of values. The new moon is a time to slow down. Let your angels catch up and land on your shoulders. Go inwards. Listen to your angels and to your soul as they guide you towards your new intentions for the new lunation cycle. It's a time to rest and reflect on the last cycle and listen to the new inspirations that emerge. There are new beginnings. Tap into the courage and assertion required for the blazing new trails in a pioneering way. Considering initiating, taking action, or being competitive, there's a need for high energy, vitality, and enthusiasm, and even tap into your impulsiveness and naivety regarding the matters around home, land, property, father lineage, ancestry, your roots, your sense of unconscious in terms of the security of where you're staying. Please be mindful on the low octave not to be selfish or self-centered or angry, hot-tempered, or aggressive towards others. From the 2nd of April to the 3rd of April, from 6:29 p.m. to 7:46 a.m. the following morning, Mercury is cazimi at 13 degrees of Aries, and this allows for you to communicate all the subject matters as discussed in a very courageous and assertive and pioneering way. On the 5th of April, Venus enters Pisces. On the 14th of April, Mars enters Pisces. From the 8th to the 17th of April, Jupiter and Neptune are conjunct at 23 and 24 degrees of Pisces. They perfect on the 12th of April at 23 degrees. And for you Capricorns, this is infusing Neptune, Venus, and Jupiter's energies regarding your neighbors, your siblings, your commuting in the day, any matters related to communications, writing, thinking, words, teaching, and altruism, forgiveness, empathy, compassion, mysticism, dreaminess, a sense of gentle spiritual healing as a form of love expressed, imagination being prompted, boundarylessness experience, connecting to all that is in a dissolving with your immediate environment situation. There's a sense of connecting to divinity through your thoughts and communications, or through your neighbors or siblings, or your thinking. There's a sense of connecting to evolution, to your own soul, and to your ideals and visions. The lower octave warning of this is you may feel confused, deluded, nebulous, or deceived in your thinking or matters related to neighbors or siblings or short-term commuting. Also, Jupiter combines into this area of teaching and communication, nobility, gainfulness, expansion, spiritual opportunities, wisdom from guides, counselors, wise persons such as philosophers, professors, shamans, and gurus, including the wisdom offered to you by the unseen angels and beings. On the 16th of April, we have the full moon in Libra at 26 degrees 45, which occurs at 20:54 p.m. And this for you, dear Capricorns, is occurring in an area that relates to your status in the world, your reputation, what you feel to be your highest sense of success, what you profess your profession to be out into the world. And it also relates to your reputation and status. Here you would like to unite more with people and find more of a balance in your relationships. You would like a little bit more romance infused into these activities, as well as more gentleness and sociability. There's a square to Pluto, which relates and reminds of the transformation and regeneration, much like the reemergence of the phoenix arising from the ashes that you as Capricorns have experienced over the last year or two. And this realization that this transformation regarding your health, your physical appearance, your sense of personality has undergone and is still undergoing. It's a bit like an upgrade, a new version of self. The trine to Saturn continues on the full moon, reminding you of the stability and the importance of maintaining discipline and structures and a sense of authoritativeness around your self-esteem, around your self-confidence, your value systems, your possessions, your finances, and your money. Thank you, dear Capricorns, for joining me. I wish you a beautiful Aries season. Bye for now. Thank you for joining me on this Aries season forecast. On the 1st of April at 8:24 a.m., we have a new moon at 11.5 degrees of Aries. Conjunct this is Mercury at 9 degrees and Chiron at 12 degrees. And this bodes well for communications regarding healing of self and others, specifically siblings, your immediate environment, matters related to short-term commuting, the business work-related paperwork, teaching, filing, thinking, talking, communicating. A sextile to Venus, Saturn, and Mars in Aquarius reminds you of the discipline and structure and stabilizing, anchoring effect of being authoritative about the ideals regarding your health and your physical appearance and your persona. The new moon is a time to slow down. Stop so that the angels can land and catch up with you on your shoulders. Go inwards, listen to your angels, listen to your soul. It will guide you towards your new intentions for the new lunation cycle. It's a time of rest and reflection on the last lunation cycle. And it's about listening to the new inspirations that emerge. There are new beginnings. And there's a need to tap into your courage, into your impulsiveness and naivety, as well as into your assertion and the sense of blazing into new trails in a pioneering way, especially considering initiating and taking action and being competitive. There's a need for high energy, vitality, and enthusiasm in regards to the matters I had discussed: communication, neighbors, siblings, paperwork, thinking, talking, and teaching. Please be mindful. The lower octave of Aries is selfishness, self-centeredness, anger, hot temper, and aggression towards others. On the 2nd of April, from 6:29 p.m. through to the 3rd of April at 7:46 a.m. at 13 degrees, we have Mercury cazimi in the heart of the sun. And this highlights a fabulous time to communicate the new courageous, assertive ways in regards to your new pioneering adventures. On the 5th of April, Venus enters Pisces. On the 14th of April, Mars enters Pisces. From the 8th to the 17th of April, Jupiter and Neptune are conjunct at 23 and 24 degrees. And it's on the 12th of April that they perfect at 23 degrees. Now for you, dear Aquarians, this is occurring in an area of your life that relates to your self-esteem, your value system, your confidence, your finances, and your possessions. And we have the benefics Venus and Jupiter in exaltation and rulership visiting this area. They bring with them altruism, a sense of forgiveness, empathy, compassion, mysticism, dreaminess, gentle spiritual healing, and these as a form of love expressed. Neptune prompts imagination, boundarylessness, a connection to all that is, as a sense of dissolving with and into one's environment and situation. There's a sense of connecting to divinity, to evolution, to your own soul, to your own ideals and visions. The lower octave can be experienced as confusion, delusion, nebulousness, and deception. Forewarned is forearmed. Jupiter combines into this area nobility, wealth, gainfulness, expansion, spiritual opportunities, wisdom from guides, counselors, professionals, wise persons such as philosophers, professors, shamans, and gurus, including the wisdom offered to you by unseen angels and beings. On the 16th of April, the full moon at Libra, 26 degrees 45, which occurs at 2000 hours and 54 minutes, occurs in an area of your life regarding overseas travel, foreigners, philosophies, religions, wise persons, counselors, matters related to law, publishing, or advertising. And here you would like to infuse a sense of balance and uniting with other people. You would like to incorporate a little bit of romance into these themes and be more gentle and sociable regarding your spirituality and your belief systems, or matters related to foreigners and travel. The square on this full moon to Pluto occurs for you in an area that allows for transformation, regeneration, the sense of emergence of the phoenix arising from the ashes in regards to cycles that have ended, this feeling of loss and isolation, of working from behind the scenes and connecting to the spiritual world, the divine, and imagination. It's the sense of renouncing yourself from the world so that you can recharge your batteries away from all the activities. Time out is the sense. And there is also the reminder on this full moon of the stabilizing, disciplined, structured way that you are looking after your health and your body, your physical appearance, and your personality. Aquarians, enjoy the Aries season. Take care. Bye for now. Joining me on the forecast of the Aries season. On the 1st of April at 8:24 a.m., we have a new moon at 11.5 degrees of Aries. We have Mercury at 9 degrees of Aries, and we have Chiron at 12 degrees of Aries. And this allows for healing regarding yourself and others when it comes to your self-esteem, your value systems, your confidence, and matters related to your finances and possessions. A sextile to Venus, Saturn, and Mars in Aquarius stabilizes the structured, authoritative, disciplined maintenance regarding time out for yourself. This is a place where you want to work from behind the scenes and spend some time alone so that you can connect to spirit, God, imagination, and intuition. There may be a sense of loneliness or loss as cycles end, and yet at the same time there's a sense of connecting to the divine and checking in with the cosmic pulse and clock of the universe. The new moon is a time to slow down. Let the angels catch up and land on your shoulders. Go inwards and listen to your angels and your soul as they guide you towards your new intentions for the new lunation cycle. It's a time of rest and reflection on the last lunation cycle, and also to listen to the new inspirations that emerge. There are new beginnings that require you to tap into your courage and assertion and blazing new trails in a pioneering way. Considering initiating and taking action on being competitive and requiring high energy, vitality, enthusiasm, impulsiveness, and naivety regarding your self-confidence, your self-esteem, your finances, and your possessions. The lower octave is to please be mindful not to be selfish, self-centered, angry, hot-tempered, or aggressive towards others. On the 2nd of April from 6:29 p.m. to the 3rd of April at 7:46 a.m., Cazimi Mercury at 13 degrees is in the heart of the sun, and this highlights a fantastic opportunity to speak about and communicate about the courage and assertion that you need requiring these new pioneering adventures. On the 5th of April, Venus enters your sign. On the 14th of April, Mars enters your sign. From the 8th to the 17th of April, you have Jupiter and Neptune conjunct at the 23rd and 24th degree of Pisces. They're perfect on the 12th of April at the 23rd degree. And this is infusing into your life the beautiful altruism, forgiveness, empathy, compassion, mysticism, dreaminess, and gentle spiritual healing form of love as an expression that Venus has to offer when she's in exaltation. It prompts imagination and dreams, a sense of boundarylessness, connecting to all that is, feeling at one and dissolving with and into your environment and your situation. There's a sense of connecting to divinity, to evolution, to your own soul, your own ideals and visions, and checking in with the cosmic clock of the universe. There is a lower octave warning that you might feel confused or deluded or nebulous or deceived. Jupiter combines into your health and your sense of physical body and personality and how you look, this sense of nobility and gainfulness, expansion, spiritual opportunities, wisdom from guides, counselors, wise persons such as philosophers and professors and shamans and gurus, including the wisdom offered to you by unseen angels and beings. On the 16th of April, the full moon is in Libra at 26 degrees 45, and this occurs at 2000 hours and 54 minutes. The full moon in Libra falls in an area of your life that relates to how other people supply you with resources. These are spiritual, financial, emotional, and physical, and what it is that they are finding in you as a resource to supply you with these resources. So this could relate to applying for a bond at the bank or matters related to tax or inheritance, but it can also very much relate to intimacy with others and feeling fear around that. The full moon in Libra would like you to unite and find balance in your relationship with others. It feels like it would like a little bit more romance into the sense of transformation and irrevocable change that you're undergoing. A sense of gentleness and sociability is also what you're seeking. The square to Pluto confirms the transformation and regeneration and the emergence of you as a phoenix arising from the ashes in relationship to how you connect to society at large. What groups of friends you're hanging out with? Who are your friends? How are you networking? What ideals and hopes and dreams do you have? And what income are you earning? And what rewards are you receiving for all the hard work that you've put out there? On the 16th of April, during the full moon, there's also a sextile to, a trine to Saturn. And here we're finding the sense of anchoring the maintaining, disciplined, authoritative, structured requirement for time alone, for you to go and recharge your batteries. Even if you're feeling isolated and alone, there's a sense of connecting to your subconscious, to the divine, to imagination. And the best way to do this is to be out of society, alone, where you can connect and check in with yourself and work from behind the scenes. It's also an area in your life where you may understand that a cycle has come to an end and that there's possibly a sense of loss. Thank you, dear Pisces, for joining me on this Aries forecast. I wish you a beautiful Aries season. Take care. Be blessed.